Hey everybody, so yeah, yesterday we finished up validation and checked it in, and I guess I never did even check to see my if it works, like I mean, does it even work? And then it's been a while. I mean, it's been a while. Let's go ahead and just animate this. Okay, so it does nothing, which is what I would expect. And I think I'm just going to have it spin like just the classic uh was it like the classic spin that um, three, and just have it go three, and there we go three. All right, so that's fun. And then I guess yeah, since it's white, I guess we should move it out. And see, this is one thing I don't like about the current animation, is that well, and I think that's actually good. So I'm gonna make it out to 5. And then it'll come towards us to 1. I do not like that in this specific instance. I think it's kind of cool because we're gonna sort of test fog, and so watching it come closer to us as we change the fog values. And I don't even know. So we don't have light, so I don't know if fog requires light. I know we played around with this before, but let's do this. Okay, so fog clearly does not require light because we definitely see something there. And let's yes, we have a light gray. Let's make it like a red, light, like a reddish fog. So as it gets closer to us. All right, so when it's far, it's very red, but then as it gets closer, now if we double the fog density, it should, yeah, so that goes red to almost white. I mean, it's a lot redder, and I think it's a lot. So if I make it like 0, 1, so there's hardly any fog. Like you can't even really tell. But then if I make it 1, 1 or 2, 1, it starts off real red, so and then if I made it like 1.2, it's just red the whole time. Um, so basically, I guess the farther something away is away, the more the fog impacts it. I mean, the closer it is, the less the fog. And this is the exponential fog. Um, so so that's cool. And that's what fog does. And that was the whole point of this application, is so that like I mean we can see what fog does. Like when you try to read the whenever I try to read the documentation or whenever I try to play with them, I just have no take on it. Um, so that is cool. What is next? Okay, so next. Okay, so well, one thing to talk about was like I definitely, we definitely have decided that this I'm only gonna code this out till the end of the year. I'm gonna start a brand new one, new application starting from scratch, from 0 lines of code. npm build a brand new thing um, for the POC version 2. So I couldn't go to MVP. And the two major differences that I'm going to start off with is it's going to be file upload first. File upload, file export first. Like that is like going to be built into the very nature of it. And any new feature that gets added, that feature is not complete until or that property is not complete until it's in file upload and in a form and in file export. And all three of those have to work and all of that. So that's the number one. And then the number two is I want to set it up like with a early, I don't know if this is the right word, but a tokenization scheme right at the beginning, so that like if something is animated, I go check, is this animated? Is this property animated? Everything is going to be built from sort of the property mindset. So like if you go look at our services and our utils, I think it was validation service. So yeah. See, we have this concept of, and I really should have made this like multi-line. Why would I not do that? So we have like this sort of structure like this, and then we can know what um, kind of validation something has based on this structure. Like all the fields are all based on the structure, but all the properties are also based on this structure. So that is we're going to have a structure like this, but I don't even know. So I thought this was really clever to have sort of this hierarchical structure, and maybe it makes sense, but maybe, well, okay. So I think it does make sense to do it this way, but maybe the whole, well, see, now I'm starting to look. Okay, so maybe like we need an instead of like this whole, I don't really like this whole thing where I get sent in a path of strings and then I go look and I do this is one deep. I think that's a little weird. Maybe what I want is actually to have just a naming convention for these tokens. So the token this this would be scene dash fog density. I was thinking it could be capital like camel case, but the problem is that this is already like, how would you know if this was seen with one layer down fog and then with one layer down density or all that? So I think it makes more sense for this to have like scene dash fog density, and, and then like this dictionary has, well, man, that's, oh, so that's why that. And I guess, yeah, this dictionary would still have to be like, so I have this token dictionary and it's based on this token that gets returned. Um, and I would like to just have a token that comes back for every path. But, and I was thinking it would be really cool if it was just a naming convention. Um, so, but with dashes, but then that kind of makes it harder to set up something like this. I don't know if you can even, can you do this? I guess you can. So then you would be able to have a dash. Yeah, I guess, yeah. So then all of our dictionaries would be like this. It would be scene dash token dictionary, which then that would have an array, or yeah, scene dash fog density, and then that would have an array of validation tokens, and then those validation tokens would have dictionaries that would then have these sorts of things in them. I think that might work. I think that's how I want to start that the the new one, just based on that at the very top, and then all these other services and all these other things are all driven off of that naming convention. Um, so um, so I think that would be cool. Um, so then I guess the thing that would change would be this validation tokens for, it would be validation tokens for um, property token, and then in there it would be like scene dash fog density, like that. It would be like this. Oops. Like this with quotes around here. And I don't know if that's going to work. I mean, I'm going to try it out. We'll see. Yeah, like that. So this basically maps to the path scene slash fog density. So, and then there'll probably be something above it. And then there would be mesh dash, let's see, when we add a mesh, we have edit form. We have multiple kinds, dash sphere, dash text. Then if it's text, then it would be dash height, dash font, and all those things would all be like in their own dictionaries, and then everything would be driven off of that. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that in the new POC. So those are kind of like the two basic things. Um, so I think the next step, though, is, let's go back since we're already doing this. We're kind of locked into this for this application. In the scene, we also have, oh, so this is even screwy, right? Because it's scene dash, it really should be scene dash fog density. So we already kind of screwed that up a little bit, right? Because exponential 2, and it probably should be, no, I think it's fine. Well, okay, so I don't know how that works in, I think, is it at the top level? Let's look at chat GPT. In ThreeJS, how do you set the fog density? This is just going to be the easiest way. Like, we could look in the code and see, but I think it'll be easier. Scene. Okay, so see, that's the thing is, it's part of. Oh, okay, so it's a kind of. So, like, really, I think what this should have been was it should have been scene colon fog and then colon, oops, colon. I quite often like that, I guess. And then, oh, I guess this needs to be inside of like that. And I guess this doesn't look like this one needs this. Yeah, like, so it should have been scene dash fog density. Really, like if we wanted to do that right. So then we could be scene dash fog dash near, or then it would be like comma near colon, and then that's an array of and it's basically the exact same array. I think that would make a lot more sense than what we have right now. So, and I guess even, it's kind of hard, like once you've kind of given up on a code base, like to say, like, is this worth doing? I think it is worth doing, because like I don't even know about this whole concept at this point. This is like a new idea for me. I honestly, like, yeah, I don't know, but we do know that it's going to break all kinds of crap. But unfortunately, it won't break it in the compiler, which is kind of a bummer. And not only that, but this whole is one deep thing completely breaks, and the path breaks, right? So like we should have. Where does is one deep get called? Okay, so get validation tokens for path. So the path is screwed up now. See, are things broken? See, nothing's broken here yet. See, this is like old-fashioned JavaScript coding. Like you don't get any protection. Which is kind of a bummer, and I cannot figure out how to get that protection. So now is when deep is going to return a false. So now I guess if we want to go with this, we have to say is too deep. So this is kind of like a really good test of this kind of concept, because like we're not digging deep into understanding how all this code works. We've kind of set up like sort of an architecture for ourselves, um, and now we're just sort of following along and just kind of hoping that whoever set this up, which is me, um, sort of coded everything in a reasonable way. Okay, so it seems like this should work, right? Like I should be able to go like this, and this validation path one, and it's so fun. Like it's so interesting when you're coding and you're just sort of going by the seat of your pants like this. So basically, we've passed in. Okay, did I miss? I think I missed. We've we've passed in a. So what we've done is we've passed in a 3-layer deep hierarchy, and then we're saying that the validation type is at the third level down. That it's sitting there waiting for us, which I believe is right. That is where it would be because um, now we're passing in scene fog and fog density. Now I don't know. Did we actually do that a second ago? Um, Scene fog and fog density, right? So we're asking for validation. Everything should line up after that. It has been a minute since we set that stuff up. Save all. So if all goes well, it's not broken. And it might be. I don't know. I don't know. So we got the little red thing for a second. And yeah, so everything's still working. So we were able to sort of, I don't know, what is the right way? We just sort of blindly guided our way through based on the pre-existing architecture that was there. So while I'm not thrilled with that architecture, um, it is a bit like it is nice that it was that easy to sort of fix to refactor. Um, instead of things being two layers deep at scene and fog, at scene at fog density, now it's at scene fog density and scene fog and fog density, and then you get the token and everything's driven off that token and everything else. So all the moving parts were all just sort of slammed up to the very front of that thing, and everything else just worked itself out, which is pretty awesome. So now we also managed to add our new um, thing that we care about, and that's near. And then it would make a lot of sense to add far now, but I kind of want to go through the steps, because I do know the first step is always going to be like add the new path. Um, I think that is pretty cool. Um, and then I think, but really what we did want would have been better, and we wouldn't have had to go through this, is at a higher level if we would have had a token for that property. And then these were all driven off the token for that property. Then in here at the validation service, I would have this. Um, and then, and honestly, I guess there should have been a help service instead of the help stuff being um, jammed up in here, um, that would use the same token. It would be set up to return all the all the help tokens for a given path, and then and it is kind of nice, maybe I guess maybe it does make sense to set that up. but then also like the other thing is like if we just had a naming convention, we could just say scene dash fog density, and then we could skip the whole that whole token completely. We could just be like for scene dash fog density. We just have this high like a dictionary instead of this hierarchical data structure, and that would probably be a lot easier to understand. So that's what I think. Anyway, so I guess tomorrow when we'll go in and over here at the linear, we'll um, we'll add a new text box and hopefully um, uh, I think we need to add a control for it, a form control, and then go in and there's several things that we need to do in the template around setting up the um, the error messages and this guy here, this info thing. Um, so and then like the key up and all that. But I think first step is just to get, I guess, get the um, get the form control built, and then the second thing is to update the form, and then the third thing would be to add a key up handler. And I think that's everything that needs to be done in my mind to get this whole system up and running. Um, so, and that update will, I guess, happen scene manager, right? Like here, uh, basically that'll all happen. Like there'll be another one, but um, for near um, fog near validators, validation tokens for each, and then create. Oh, so and this too. So let's go ahead and move that up to the line. So basically everything from here, we're going to copy, duplicate, start, dupe for near. And then we're going to go all the way down to here. And we're going to end that. So basically, we're going to do all of this stuff for that. And, we probably would make sense to create a function that has these things in there. And that would make sense. And then maybe even like see if we can do something so that there's a little bit less duplication in the code. So yeah, so probably move all of this into its own function and make sure it still works, and then start the whole process. And then that'll be cool. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.